We are recording. Hey, Charles, how's it going, man?
All good. How about you?
Good, good, man. Look, I appreciate you being on this call right now. Thank you for sharing with us little bit about your fitness journey. Why don't you tell everyone a little bit about what you do for a living and just your lifestyle and some of what your experience was prior to joining this program?
Okay. Well, I'm a high school teacher. I teach economics, AP microeconomics, film, sociology, and the history of Chicago. That was this last year. And I think I'm still teaching those same classes next year. And so lifestyle wise, I'm a person who enjoys having a good time. And that could involve, you know, going out, having maybe a few too many, sometimes adult beverages, sometimes not, going out to dinner, not watching what I'm eating. And that all that takes its toll. And so, I needed to obviously make a change. And I felt, I'll be honest, like in my 20s and my 30s, it wasn't as bad because I was young. And when you're young, you're active. I love to travel. I love to do a lot of things like that.
Gotcha.
But as you get older, you can't continue with that. And that's, I still go out, don't get me wrong. It's not like I sit at home and stay there the whole time, but, yeah, you just got to be a little bit smarter when you're doing those kind of things. And, but they take their toll and you end up getting sometimes a little bit heavier, especially, I've had 15, I don't know, it's 14 or 15 surgeries. It'll take too long to count them out right now, but most of them have been sports related, playing like high school football, wrestling, baseball, softball. As I got older, I still golf. And so I've always been active in sports. So that's probably why my 20s and 30s, it wasn't too bad.
Gotcha.
But as I started to hit my mid 30s, getting into my 40s, the weight came on. And when I was younger, I could lose it pretty quick. But now, I noticed that as I got older, I just couldn't.
Gotcha.
And a change was needed.
Got you. And so what made you decide to start this program more specifically? What was your biggest struggle?
So during the pandemic, I then started to pack on some weight. And I noticed that I was becoming less active, like a lot of people. But, to blame this all on the pandemic is a cop-out as far as I'm concerned, because it started before that. It started probably into my late 40s. Just not bad decisions, but unwise decisions about,
That's a good way of putting it.
when to eat, maybe at times not listening to my body and giving myself the chance to kind of be like, hey, you know what? You're moving slower. You're doing this not as good as well as you were doing it. My golf game, and I attributed this, like my golf game got worse as I was in my late 40s, early 50s. And I'm thinking to myself going, man, I got to change.
Yeah.
Clothes were beginning to get tight. And so I'm noticing a lot, and I'm like, man, this can't continue.
Got you. What weight did you get up to at this point?
Well, so I was going to start working out in October, but then I broke my ribs. And so when I did the weigh in there, it was 245.
Okay.
And that was, I think right at the very beginning of October, but I'm willing to bet that in June, July, in the summer months, I was probably pushing 250. And that doesn't look too good on a guy that's 5'8". So,
No.
and, you know, I mean, I've always been, you know, I mean, I've got, you know, maybe I've got big shoulders, but not that big. I mean, that's the reality,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. I'm with you.
You
So
know,
what?
so,
No, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, so, you know, even though I was wearing a double X, I didn't have the, because I still had some muscle on me. So it was kind
Right.
of like, oh, I'm just looking big. No, yeah, you know, now that I've lost the weight, I didn't look. It was all up here. It was me telling myself this so I felt better and accepting that a little bit more, you know, which I think a lot of people do that, you know, but now that I've realized it, I'm like, now that I've seen the results going, and now I'm like, oh my God, did I really wear a double X shirt for 15 years? You
Eye
know,
opener, huh?
yeah, huge.
So tell us what's helped the most in this program and what results have you gotten from it?
So obviously, the first off, I mean, the plan that you put together is where it all begins. You know, obviously myself making my own mind up that this has to happen, and I am the kind of person that once I decide I'm going to do something, I accomplish it. Um, and so that knowing that how to cook food, when to cook, you know, I mean, honestly, if it's 7 o'clock, the latest I'm going to have a snack is, and now my snacks are even better. I mean, you know, the greatest advice you gave me, and I'm going to have to say it, was take all the food like that has a lot of sugar, you know, like maybe candy or cookies and all that. So it's all out of the house. And I've replaced it with fruit, which I love eating. I've always loved fruit. Um, and so now if I want one of those things, I'm making it inconvenient for me to just get up off the couch, go into the fridge and grab some ice cream. If I want ice cream, I have to drive to go get it. And I'm going to tell you, most of the times I have yet thought to myself, "Ooh, I really want that. Oh, I'm gonna have to drive to the store. I gotta get parking. I gotta do this. I gotta do that."
Yeah.
You know,
There
so
you go. There you go. Tell me this. Have you had to give up? What foods have you had to give up on this program? What can you not ever eat again?
uh, nothing. I eat everything that I want. So
Nice. Nice.
I've had pizza. I go out for steaks. Um, hey, I'm Italian. I'm a huge pasta eater. So, you know, and I make my own sauce and everything. And so I love to do that. And I still do. Now, I don't eat it 3 to 4 times a week. Now I eat it once a week, sometimes once every 2 weeks, sometimes even longer. You know, so, and I
Ration
used
it
to,
out a bit, huh?
yeah, same
Yeah.
with rice. I used to eat rice with every meal as well. So it was either a pasta dish or a rice dish. And now I've learned to eat more vegetables, and I can, you know, and I've learned that a measuring cup is very useful when trying to do your servings. So I measure out my stuff, and you know, you really, I incorporate things that I've always liked, but now I make sure I eat them in my meals. So a
Yeah.
salad, vegetables, and then your protein. And, you know, on occasion, if I want to have a little bit of pasta, I will. If I want a little bit, I really honestly haven't had the rice too much, but you know, every Sunday I usually have pasta with my father. So that's when
Got you.
I save that for Sunday. And I I have a caloric number for the week.
Okay.
And so what I do is that sometimes during the weekday, like I don't I don't max it out. So this way I can have a little bit more on the weekend.
There you
And
go.
it works out. It really does. You know, you can bank. I've banked 500 to 700 extra calories because I've watched myself during the week and then on the weekends, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm the kind of guy, when I go out to have a good time. I don't go out there trying to count this and count
And you
that.
should.
And
You right? That's what restaurants are for, right?
yeah,
All it takes is
exactly.
just a
I
little bit of
mean,
strategy.
it
That's
would be
good.
helpful. It'd be helpful if they had the caloric number on the menu, but
Oh, wait now. Their priority is to make it taste good first, right? So
Mhm.
that's why you got to be on top of yourself. And it sounds like, not sounds like you've done a great job at doing so. That's one of the reasons why you're on the call. So you have mentioned in the past that you have been diabetic for some time now, correct?
Oh, yes,
And
yes.
what type of diabetic have you been?
Type 2. So that
Type
means I
2?
inflicted that onto myself.
Right, right. So, how has that affected your case of being diabetic in terms of what you've carried out over the last several months now?
So I haven't been taking the medication because my blood sugar is normal. um,
Awesome.
so, and because I've done that, and a real quick story to, so now that I've brought down my blood sugar and everything, and I just had a blood test, my doctor's like, hey, everything's good. You know what? There's if these are going to be your numbers moving forward, there's no reason to be on the medication. Because type 2 is reversible. And, and like, I remember people telling me, well, now that you're at that age, that ain't going to happen. Well, it did happen. So it can, and it does. And the other night, I wanted to have something sweet. So I ate it. Now, this was later on at night. So I was a little concerned about, okay, now I'm doing the sweet. So I checked my blood sugar. And yes, it was elevated, but it was elevated because I had the sugar, but not to the point where it was like, normally, if I would have eaten that, like, let's say before January, my blood sugar would have been well over 200 because
Wow.
I would have eaten whatever I ate with a lot of carbs. And as we know, carbs
Right,
get turned into sugar.
right.
And so if I'm eating the sweet on top of all that, my numbers are extremely high. So my number was not high. Actually, it was, I think, like around 150, 160. I know that sounds high, but the reality is that no, because I just had that. And the next morning, when I took my blood sugar, it was at 100. So
Awesome.
I,
Awesome, man.
and I always forget to mention that this is one of the greatest things is what it's done to the diabetes. And hey, I can tell you this, my numbness that in my feet has disappeared. I mean, it's a great thing. And I'm very happy that I made this decision. In fact, it has literally been the best gift I've ever given myself.
Awesome. Awesome, man. And what has been your experience from a movement perspective? What changes have you noticed with how you feel and how you move and your overall energy?
So how I feel, I'm always been an upbeat, happy-go-lucky kind of guy. And now I'm even happier. So, which I find, hard to, my confidence. I've always been a confident individual. To think that I managed to get that even higher is a little scary. So that part, there's the self-esteem part that is so high. Sorry for the phone.
It's all right. You're a busy man.
So
So
sorry about that.
no, you're good. You're good. Why don't we end with this? Tell us real briefly, for the person that is on the fence, that is, trying to decide whether they want to join this program, work with myself or at Ron Israel Fitness, what advice would you give to them?
Well, first off, do it. But if there's the slightest, like if you got to make an honest commitment to yourself. That's what I did, is I made a commitment to myself. And while we were talking about movement just a second ago, I mean, my golf game improved because I'm stronger now. Now, it's not just about how much you bench or how much you curl. There is the overall body strength, and that has also helped me not just in, obviously playing golf, which my score has improved, and it because I could, like the movements and everything. I swing better. I swing, my follow through is better, and so if there are things that you enjoy doing, you can do them better. I mean, that's how I look at it. And all this could be motivating factors as well. But the key is that you got to make the commitment to yourself, and you got to decide, okay, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to, when I go out, I'm going to watch what I'm doing, especially, I mean, you're not going to lose weight. And I think weight loss shouldn't be the overall, motivating factor. There should be more. I mean, look, if you got to lose weight, chances are you're not moving like you should be. If you got to lose weight, chances are you might not be breathing like you need to be. I mean, there are so many factors that this improves that, you just make that commitment to yourself, and it'll happen. But it's not, you don't wave a magic wand and poof, there it is. You have to realize that you're going to have to put time in to working out, but you need to definitely put the time into how you cook, how you eat, how much you eat. And at the same time, if you do it like this, where the things, I mean, I enjoy going out and having a good steak. I enjoy going out to dinner, to, wherever, especially on the weekend. So, I still do all that. Now,
Awesome.
Obviously I don't do it every weekend, but I probably more than I'm doing something. Either I'm going out watching a sports game of, baseball, football at a bar, or I'm doing the dinner, I'm going to a movie, so I still do all that stuff. Now,
awesome.
You can, it can be done. But more importantly, once you sit there and make that commitment to yourself, it's going to be a struggle at the very beginning, but then, man, when the weight starts coming off and you're getting a whole new wardrobe.
Nice. And I can't even remember, how much weight did you say you lost?
30.
30. Okay.
30.
Cool, man. Well, listen, thanks again for joining us. Appreciate you sharing your story. Keep up the great work, and I look forward to seeing you continue keeping it going, right?
Oh, it is definitely going to keep going. It is definitely going to keep going, because I love how I look, how I feel. It's, the diabetes is under control. There's just so much good. There's just so much good. And honestly, I wish this to everybody that wants to do this. Do it. And they'll be better off. I mean, I can't help it. I'm a school teacher, so I want everybody to do well. Once we're all doing well, the world is a better place.
Absolutely.
I may be a dreamer, but I believe in that.
No, absolutely. Well said. Well, listen, sir, enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you.
And I wish you well.
Thank you. You as well. And I just want to say another thank you, a huge thank you, because, I know that I'm the one doing it, but guidance, and I appreciate guidance because I know about it as a teacher. So
hey, it's a team effort. It's a team effort. I'm just a tour guide. All right, Charles. Have a good one, man. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks, Ron. I'll see you.
All right. See you.